Alright guys, I am actually so excited about today's video. I just discovered that the Magic School Bus is available on YouTube. The link will be down in the description below, but I just felt like I had to make a video reacting to it. If you're at all like me, the Magic School Bus is nostalgia. It's what I grew up on, and I absolutely loved it as a kid. And I remember that was one of those shows that I rewatched a million times. If you're new to the channel, my name's Dr. Sil. I'm a junior doctor working in Sydney, Australia, and I like to make videos about medicine and mental health, but also sometimes just reactions. So in this video, I'll watch the Magic School Bus and maybe just make some commentary about the anatomy and physiology of the human body and whatever they get up to. So let's see what happens.
Seatbelts, everyone! Please let this be a normal field trip. With a friend? No way! Oh.
Cruising on down Main Street, you're relaxed and feeling good.
All the nostalgia.
Next thing that you know, you'll see it. Octopus in the neighborhood, surfing on a sine wave, swinging through the stars.
There you go. So these are all villi. These are folds of the intestine, and on them are even more folds, microvilli. And that is to increase the surface area of your intestine so that it can absorb more nutrients. So fantastic histology already. I'm not sure which sphincter they're going through, but maybe it's the gastroduodenal sphincter. The one that would connect your stomach to the first part of the intestine.
Your intestine, take your second right past Mars on the Magic School Bus. Alligator nostril, climb on the Magic School Bus. Fake a plankton too. On Magic School Bus. Rock the river of lava. On Magic School Bus. Such a fine thing to do.
Idea for broadcast day. So I'll have an idea for broadcast day. Why don't I have an idea for broadcast day?
What is broadcast day?
Get up, Ralphie! You're going to be late for school!
Also, this is like the 90s, and this kid has his own PC in his room. That's pretty luxe. This guy knows what's going on.
How can anything that smells like grape shoe polish help my body get well? Ugh.
It will if you take 1 teaspoon 3 times a day. And don't forget to shake well before using.
Like this?
Even your jokes are sick. Open.
Hey!
Oh boy, I feel great! Mom, you are amazing!
So she's given him some magic syrup that he has to take 3 times a day. Look, there are heaps of cough syrups out there. We call them antitussives because tussive is to cough. And there's different mechanisms and different classes. Some are like antihistamines, which reduce the kind of inflammatory process in the in the throat, which means you have less inflammatory cytokines being released, which reduces the irritation on nerves, and that it's nerve irritation that triggers a cough reflex. But if they're taking it 3 times a day, it could be fulcadine, which is a medicine that it actually inhibits the cough reflex, not peripherally in the neck, but actually centrally in the brain on the actual medulla oblongata. The medulla oblongata. And yeah, you take that 3 times a day. But it would take longer than just, it has to go into the blood, it has to go around the body, up to the brain. It doesn't just work like that. So inaccurate. Magic School Bus.
So, what's your idea, Ralphie? Oh, what's going on with my body anyway?
Oh, that's an excellent question, Ralphie. Class, everyone back to the bus.
Huh? But Miss Frizzle, we just got here.
Single file, please.
Wait! Where are you going? You can't go on a field trip now.
This Triceratops lizard is, I don't know, I've never seen any lizard like that. You guys have to let me know what species that is in the comments below.
I can't do broadcast day all by myself.
He's always chill, isn't he?
I'm sick. Wait a minute. What's going on?
Oh, it was your idea, Ralphie. We're here to get the inside story.
Inside story? Inside what? What about broadcast day?
Think, Ralphie. Where is all the action right now?
The action?
Liz, what are you doing?
Hang on a second. The action is all inside me. What a great idea. Broadcast day could be about what's going on inside me.
Ralphie, say ah.
Cool. I've never seen that from the outside before. The internet.
That's pretty good anatomy. I get a lot of questions about the uvula. This is the uvula up here. The uvula is very important to stop food from going up into your nose. So you know how you have two nostrils, then you have a nasal cavity, and then that nasal cavity connects to your throat through a hole. And if you know that should be a one-way hole. Air should be going like that way, and no food should be going up. But if you didn't have a uvula, then nothing would be blocking it when you take a swallow, because when you take a swallow, your tongue pushes the food to the top roof of your mouth and then down the back of your throat. And that kind of contraction could send food up through your nose. So could you imagine not having a uvula and just like almost like coughing food out of your nose from time to time? It would suck. So that's why you have that dangly thing. Let's see if I can see my uvula. Sorry, weird mood. This is great. I'm getting so much nostalgia. It's so nice.
And news team is nearing the disaster area. In a moment, we will have live footage. See anything yet? Whoa!
All right, that was a big error. There's two tubes down the neck. There's the anterior tube towards the front, which was the windpipe, I guess you'd call it, the larynx. And that has an opening that's covered by a sheet called the epiglottis, so that you can't just, when you eat food, it doesn't just go into your windpipe, because then you would have you'd aspirate and have an aspiration pneumonia, and it'd be a disaster. But yeah, they've totally not put an epiglottis there, which is the most important structure in that area of the neck. And then you couldn't really see, but there should be an esophagus posterior to the larynx. Let's see if because there should be.
Get a shot of those vocal cords, class.
Okay, so
Look how red and swollen his throat is.
No wonder it hurts. The question is, why is it red and swollen? And why does it...
Another thing, the vocal cords should not close. If vocal cords are closed, then they shouldn't stay closed for long. Sometimes they close just before a cough when you build up the pressure in the lungs, and then they release, and then all the air goes out at once, and that's a normal response. But normally when you're speaking, they're not closed because air is going through them. They tense up and they relax, and they tense up and they relax. There's some cool footage on YouTube of vocal cords moving while people sing.
Story of what's making Ralphie sick. We've got to find another way in.
Mm-hmm. It's not as easy for us or germs to get inside the body as you might think.
Yeah, skin pretty much covers it. How are you gonna get the inside story if you can't get inside? Wait a second. I've got it. Look at this. Is it just me, or does this say, this way in?
It's a shortcut. Get it? Shortcut?
Carlos, yuck!
Excellent observation, Carlos. Seatbelts, everyone!
Wow! You saw it first on FNN News. Hey, you guys!
They are carrying in so much bacteria into his blood, into his bloodstream, which, then you can become septic if you get an infection in the blood, and you get way more sick. They need to be sterilized.
Guys, the whole world wants to know. Now that you've found a way in, how are you gonna get to my throat? Ralphie's right. We're all the way down at the knee.
Let's see if I can put you in the picture. As I always say, for every trip, there's a roadmap.
That's Ralphie's bloodstream.
I'm just having a look at the vessels. There's a lot of problems with the vessels. I don't even think I want to go into it.
Could we travel through his bloodstream to get to his throat?
Absolutely, Dorothy Ann. We'll take the Trans-Ralphie Highway system. And here we go! Wahoo!
So another little inaccuracy that I might have picked up on. If they want to get to the throat and they're in the knee, then they need to go via the heart if they're staying in the blood system. Now that is red blood, that's arterial blood. So you need to get to a vein and take the venous blood up to the heart and then go to the left side of the heart, probably through the lungs, to get to an artery, and then that artery can take you up to the throat.
This is Ralphie for FNN News. My entire class has just dived deep into my cut, and it doesn't even hurt.
What are those?
Those are tiny, tiny blood vessels. They are all part of the bloodstream. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo!
So small vessels are, depending on if they're an artery or a vein, are called arterioles or venules. And when they're even smaller, and they basically are as small as a blood vessel can get, they're called capillaries.
Head north, Miss Frizzle.
All right, what can we see? We see red blood cells. I'm guessing these are white blood cells. White blood cells should be quite a bit bigger than that relative to red blood cells. You should see the nucleus in them, and I guess those are the granular sites. So it might be like a neutrophil with granules, but these granules look like they're on the outside of the white blood cells, so that's a bit weird. I don't think they're platelets, because platelets should be much, much smaller. Platelets are the things that stop bleeds and block up bleeds.
Is that my blood? But I thought blood was red. That stuff is clear.
That's right, Ralphie. The liquid part of the blood is clear.
So what are those red things? Are they what make blood look red?
Scintillating surmise, Ralphie.
According to my research, they're called red blood cells. And the white ones are white blood cells. But what are those jaggedy things?
Those are platelets.
They help
They're
block
very
away
big
scrapes
platelets.
and...
Platelets should be
But we
much
still
smaller
don't know
than
what's
red blood
making me
cells.
feel sick.
1/10.
And boy, do I feel sick.
Ralphie!
Quick, hide, Liz!
Hello, sweetheart. Feeling any better?
Yeah, fine, great.
It, looks as if you've been busy.
Just, the game I was playing. So, Mom, I think I'll get some sleep now.
Hey, what's that you're watching?
What, this? It's, nothing. Just some movie. You wouldn't like it.
Oh, I don't know about that. It's remarkably realistic. Look, red blood cells. And those look exactly like white blood cells.
Nah, are you kidding? Those are just cheap special effects. Look, you can even see the wires.
We're here.
We are?
We're in Ralphie's throat?
There are a lot more white blood cells here. Where are they going?
Looks like they're after something.
Follow the white blood cells.
Sorry, Ralphie, what did you say?
Me? Did I say something?
Look, that truck thing is following the white blood cells through the blood vessel wall to the place where the infection is.
Yes! They're getting me inside.
So yes, that is how blood cells find the source of infection. Essentially, if you have an infection and let's say he has COVID, then COVID's going to affect certain cells in the throat, and those cells are going to send off kind of emergency signals saying they're infected. These are called inflammatory cytokines. Those cytokines act as signals to your own body's white blood cells. So and the white blood cells have the ability to extravasate, so get out of the blood vessel through like squeezing through the wall. And that was pretty good what you saw there. And they will follow the cytokines until they find the cell or the bacteria or the virus that is releasing cytokines. And there's some incredible footage of white blood cells chasing bacteria around, following the cytokine trail that they've left behind. So, well done, Magic School Bus. I'm pretty impressed so far.
We're out here in the throat tissues trying to find out what's going on, and... Hey! What's that? Look at that, folks! Whoa!
All right, guys, so what do we have here? We've got some cocci, so that means circular bacteria, and they're actually huge. If that's a epithelial cell, then these are absolutely monstrous. They should be probably 1/100th of the size. Anyway, we see that they're in a chain, and if the bacteria is in a chain of circles, then it's usually streptococci. And I remember that because strep is in straps. I don't know why that's why I remember it, but that's how I remember it from med school. You get straps, so you get long chains of these spherical bacteria.
And according to my research, bacteria are germs.
Nice.
Once inside our bodies, they can make us sick. Ralphie has a bacterial infection. This is it.
Hey, just to give a shout out to bacteria, you have 10 times the number of bacterial cells in your body than you do your own human cells. So you are more bacteria than human cells in terms of numbers. So before we just start saying that bacteria are germs and they make us sick, let us all remember that actually bacteria have a symbiotic relationship with you, and you need them. So actually they're very important in being healthy, but some bacteria are nasty. But most of them, the ones that are in you, are absolutely are really healthy, and we know that you need them because when we give you antibiotics that kills all the bacteria that you normally live with, you can get way worse diseases. Anyway, let's not get into that.
The inside story. Bacteria invade throat.
Is it just me, or did they say Ralphie?
No. It says here this show's about a guy named Alfie. Ixnay on my aimnay. The bacteria from Ralphie's throat infection are everywhere. And they're destroying his throat cells. Look! Here come some white blood cells. Whoa! Wow! It's throwing stuff at the bacteria.
What do we think those were? They were in the shape of a Y. Antibodies. But what looks a bit inaccurate here is that it
Here
was...
comes some white blood cells. Whoa!
Yeah. These are not... There's lots of different white blood cells, okay? There are granulocytes and agranulocytes. Or lymphocytes, I should say. And the granulocytes, like neutrophils, don't produce antibodies. That's what the lymphocytes do, the B cells. And here you've got granulocytes, so probably a neutrophil, and it's producing antibodies. That doesn't happen. Poor form, Magic School Bus.
Wow! It's throwing stuff at the bacteria. That was incredible. That white blood cell just ate those bacteria.
This is great. So one thing that did really well is the white blood cell smelt the antibodies and then ate the actual bacteria. So antibodies is one of your immune system's weapons, and they do a lot of different things. They can inactivate substances like toxins by blocking them and like covering them up so that they can't like bind to receptors and cause damage. But also what they can do, which they showed here, is they can opsonize a cell. And opsonization is when an antibody binds to a cell, and in this case it's a bacterial cell, and they cover it up, and that basically acts as a flag to tell the white blood cells to phagocytose the cell that's opsonized. So here's the bacteria, here's the antibody, it covers it. Then when a white blood cell comes along, it'll see the antibodies and it'll trigger phagocytosis, which means to eat. So it'll trigger the white blood cell to eat up that bacteria. Very nice, very impressed.
Huge battle is going on inside me? I mean inside Alfie.
This battle is raging! Who's going to win?
No wonder I'm sick.
Arnold here, on location with the infection. I'm going to try to get an exclusive interview with these two bacteria.
Whoa!
I mean, 4 bacteria. I mean, 8 bacteria? Hey guys, they're multiplying! Help! Bad news, guys.
Yeah, that's right. Bacteria multiply by binary fission, which means they form identical copies of themselves, which is actually a disadvantage. Evolution. Well, it's you want to have variation in a population for it to have an evolutionary advantage, and this means that they often don't. They do sometimes get mutations when their DNA replicates, and those mutations can. Because there's so many of them that are multiplying, the accumulation of these mutations can result in them actually having certain evolutionary benefits. And that's an example of this would be antibiotic resistance. So if you have 1 million bacteria and just 20,000 of them have a mutation that helps them against an antibiotic, and you give someone an antibiotic that kills the other 980,000 bacteria, then that last 20,000 will survive and they'll replicate, and then you only have bacteria that have that antibiotic resistance mutation. So and this has been well characterized, like some mutations denature the antibiotic. Some mutations take the antibiotic in and then throw it out via a pump out of the bacteria so it doesn't have its effect. So it's pretty wild that this is how nature works.
Right now, the white blood cells are losing.
Certainly looks that way, Dorothy Ann.
They need help. They need backup support. Ralphie, did you hear me? Where's our backup support? Backup support? Where do I get that?
Not to worry, Ralph.
Small point, but if you say you need backup, you don't need to then say support. They're the same thing. Backup and support are the same thing. Sorry.
It's already on its way. Cue the medicine!
Is that the medicine Mom gave me earlier?
It sure is, Ralphie.
Look what it's doing! It's destroying more bacteria. The medicine is giving the white blood cells another chance.
No.
And they're throwing out even more of those stick things.
Oh, those stick things are antibodies. The white blood cells use them to mark the bacteria.
Uh-oh.
I hope this doesn't mean what I think it means.
You're getting opsonized.
No! Ralphie's
you're getting phagocytosed by the white blood cell.
bacteria.
But we're not bacteria. We're Ralphie's friends.
Your foreign
But
bodies
his white blood cells are doing such a good job. They now recognize us as enemies, too.
Enemies? But we know...
This is how organ transplant, rejection happens. You get an organ, it gets covered, if it has a certain HLA, if it has a certain protein on it that triggers it as a foreign body, then your body will reject it and do exactly this to the organ you get in transplant. That's why a lot of people who have organ transplants have to have immunosuppressants to suppress the immune system so that they don't do this to the organ.
What white blood cells do to enemies?
That's right, Arnold. They'll try to destroy us.
Destroy us?
Oh, the wonder of the human body.
Ralphie! Do something!
All right, guys, well, that is my daily dose of nostalgia fulfilled. I really had a good time watching that. I think they did mostly a really good job, and all the inaccuracies were pretty minor. If you guys enjoy these kind of reactions, leave a comment down below to what else you want me to react to. Like this video if you want to support the channel, and you can also become a member on my YouTube channel or be a Patreon, and that will give you access to a course on mental health first aid skills if you'd like to do that. And you can share this video around with some friends as well. All that stuff really helps my channel grow. And I wish you all an absolutely lovely day, all right? I'll see you in the next video. Bye!